You must be wondering, who is André? Well, let me tell you a little about myself. I was born in a city called Manaus, a capital of Amazonas, in Brazil, in 1993. I'm the first son of my mom and the first boy of my mom's family. Since 1992, Brazil was passing for a political and economic crisis that made my parents move to Boa Vista, another city of Brazil, in 1995. I consider myself a citizen from Boa Vista because I lived there all my life. I always be a leader at my school. My classmates always voted me to represent them in every school activities. But my life's changed when I start to teach English class to little ones in my mom's school. This opened a big opportunity to me in 2009 when I applied to a United States embassies in Brazil to a project called Youth Ambassadors. It's a leadership program that selects 50 young people from around the country to go to USA for 1 month to participate in volunteers and cultural activities, also to live with a host family. I almost passed, but they put me in another program called English Immersion Program that consists on 15 days living an American culture with other Brazilians was selected. In 2013, I joined ISEC because my best friends invited me to IELTS meeting. I loved so much. Together, we applied to be an executive board to 2014 term. I get the market area and my best friend OGV area. My local committee was an initiative of expansion of ISEC Manaus, another local committee in Brazil. My EV was colored Folks because we were the second complete EV that was fighting to become our committee and our official local committee. To achieve that, me and my LCVP Finance, we decided to be the first OGV realized. In June of 2014, I arrived in Barquisimeto, Venezuela, to do a volunteering project called Understand Me, working with Portuguese and English class to young people. The experience teach me so much how ISEC works. At the local committee impacted me. When I returned to Brazil, I applied to a national support team to OGV in Venezuela, working with all Venezuelan networking, doing an impact to help them to grow the area. In 2015, I get selected to be a MCVP OGV 15-16 to Venezuela. With me, other 3 former VP from Barquisimeto that impacted my experience become a MCVP during my MC term. Also, in 2015, I went to my first international congress, like me was in Brazil, International Leadership Congress, now called American Congress. In this congress, I learned how ISEC International works and the importance of them to the world and networking. I met a lot of people from Americas that helped me to create a new legacy to ISEC in Venezuela because we was the first complete MC of the history and in breaking all barriers across a political and economic crisis. After my MC term, I decided to enjoy another experience in Colombia, a national project called Shape Colombia that's teaching English through innovation ways to child and young people in Bogota City. Working with the government taught me how we can build a partner for the goals, and I realized the global goals really work in Colombia. Now, I'm in Ecuador, doing another global talent experience with the government, a project called Time to Teach. Also teaching English in a pub school, and help the country to achieve the goal to have a better education and become a bilingual country in 2050. First MCVP term for me was amazing, but now I'm looking for a challenge bigger than me. Looking around, I decided to choose a region that is constantly growing like Americas, Asia, but I choose China. Makes me feel challenged to choose this country because I start to study the region, the country, and I started to study the Isaac in mainland of China. So I realized that I have the importance. I have my powerful leadership story that I can share to help to build ISAC in mainland of China into ISAC for China. Also, I met some Chinese during my ISX experience that made me feel proud to decide to work for a better China, work for youth leadership development to achieve 2020 vision. The main idea that I want to propose to our organization for the next term is working to develop a social, conscious, and humanized entrepreneurship between corner with PD and PR area. Together, they must need to start building partnerships for our goals, and these will reflect in our operations, bring more opportunities to develop the young people to transform China into a country with good jobs and economic growth. This is our movement to start to have a powerful leadership stories. Yeah, yes, thank you to watch my video application. I hope that you was enjoying as much as me, and I invited you to read my questionnaire, and I'm so happy to apply for work to abroad China for work to ISAC in mainland of China. So see you guys.